Welcome to our round 8 preview of Gippsland League. My normal cohort is unavailable due to the flu, and I hope keeps in bed getting over it. I've asked the esteemed George Munro to fill in for him. Welcome to tonight, George.
Big shoes to fill, but happy to be here, Chris.
And we have Andrew McMahon, a selector from the Tarralgon Footy Club. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for the invite on late notice.
And we're at Tarralgon tonight, so that's why we've asked Andrew to step in and give a Tarralgon flavour to it. Well, we've got round 8. Round 7 was a very interesting weekend of results, George.
Very interesting, and I suppose your boys at Druin and Ben would be happy with the trip home after the big win against Sale at Sale.
Yeah, and maybe all the frequent stops at the bus had trying to get home. That's probably where Keith caught the flu, unfortunately.
Okay,
but it was a very good trip home for the Druin boys and a big night in the local hotel for them. But it's great to see the ladder at the moment. We have the top 5 that are Sale, Druin, Tarralgon, Wonthaggi, and then we have Bairnsdale on 14, and then we have a group of 4 teams that are on 12. And unfortunately Warrigal hasn't won a game, but it's a very tight ladder, so it's been a great season.
And Maffra in unfamiliar territory there, Chris.
That's correct, but it won't be long before they'll be back up. But round 8's coming up, and we have the first game for discussion is, sorry, I'm trying to find it, Maffra Warrigal.
Yes, well, you'd think Maffra would be pretty keen to get back on the winners list after last week, and interesting to note that Maffra last week had a league goal kicker, senior league goal kicker playing reserve footy, and then in Jack Tatterson, so he might be asked for a recall, but they've had a few injuries, haven't they? A lot of the brothers haven't been playing, the Beguiles and the Colemans and the Stubbs, and so I think Maffra might get back on the winner's circle against Warrigal, Chris.
Yeah, Andrew, what's your view on that one?
Well, we played Warrigal last weekend. I thought they were rather good. Probably the last quarter was testing for them, but the first 2.5 to 3 quarters they were pretty good, very good on clearances. Don't deny them of that. And their big man brigades a skillful group that do get around the ground very well.
Yeah, no better than Matty Gray. He's a great player.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so your tip?
My tip, unfortunately for Warrigal, is still with Maffra.
Yeah, and I think I'll make the trifecta there. Our next game, Wonthaggi, Bairnsdale. At Wonthaggi.
Well, these are the 2 teams that have just back into the league, and they've done very well. Both of them sit inside the 5, but at Wonthaggi with Earl Shaw, the big man Mountain, who was dominant here for 2.5 quarters against Tarralgon until he went off and the game changed per total complexion. I think that Wonthaggi at Wonthaggi, pretty hard to beat. James Gipps, a good player from Bairnsdale, though, Chris.
Very strong marking forward. If they get the ball to him, and if he's within 50, he'll put him straight through the middle. Andrew.
Wonthaggi at home. Big efforts for any side going over there for the remainder of the year. So I think once again their big man brigade has a huge influence, and certainly clearances are the key for them as well.
Yeah, I tend to lean towards Wonthaggi as well. We'll skip the next one because it's a Monday game, but and come back to it. Moe versus Sale.
Well, that's at Moe, and that's a game we're going to do for broadcast on Gippsland 104.7. And Moe, of course, have got Hollywood Donaldson playing full forward. What a theatre he is when he's at the game. I love watching him play against Maffra. He kicked 10, and against Sale, if it's given dry conditions, he's a magnificent kick for goal. Sale have been fantastic all year, and of course beaten by Druin last week. Druin now go as the outright flag favourites, of course, and Sale will be trying to get back on the winners list, but Moe for me, Chris.
Yeah, Andrew?
Moe. No, I have to stick with Sale. Just looking at percentages there and the falls and against, I think they've got a very dominant forward line, and it gets in there very quickly, so Sale for me.
Yeah, look, Sale, whilst they were beaten last week, I mean, they've got a terrific side, and a couple of blokes were probably down a bit, and they've got height in the right place, a very athletic ruckman, very good centre-half back. very good running players, so I would be tipping Sale to win that one.
Oh, are you serious? You're trying to be objective. Your heart's saying another side though, I reckon.
Now, Drawn and Langatho, Drawn.
Oh, well, this is Drawn, as I've just said, they're the new flag favourite. They went up there, they didn't think they could get within 8 goals of Sale, and they've come home victors. And the only thing that will stop Drawn is, I'm not sure whether they've stopped celebrating since last Saturday night. And it's going to be a cold, wet week, so it'd be good to be inside, sipping on a bit of nice, cold, warm soup. But Drawn to me, I like Drawn. I like the way they go. Your young bloke Andy Mills loves this sort of conditions, in and under. Pat McGrath, a very good ball winner. Chris Dunn kicks goals. Liam Gather got a lot of good young players, but no, the new flag favourites for me, Drawn.
Andrew.
Chris, Drawn for me once again. Strong, tough, execute a great game plan. A lot of contributors all over the ground. And Liam Gather, young side, very energetic, but the big bodies might just test them.
Yeah, I think this is a game that Drawn will be watching out for. Last year, Liam Gather came over to Drawn with something like 8 under-18s players, and they actually knocked off the Hawks. Drawn don't seem to play that well against Liam Gather, but I do think at this stage, if they want to keep their momentum going and be a genuine flag threat, they do need to knock off Liam Gather, and I'll tip them to win a very close one.
Can I ask you a question about Drawn? Bob McCallum, of course, gone to Frankston. Huge loss to the side. Who's doing the majority of the ruck work now?
Damien Carmody,
Okay.
and he'd be the shortest ruckman in
I was
Gippsland.
going to say centre half back last year.
That's correct. And he's done a mammoth job for them, but they have got a very good on-ball brigade, and his job is to break even in the centre, but he's giving away inches every week, plus size, etc. But he does a lot of work around the ground, but hopefully he doesn't break down with injury, because he's starting to show signs of wear and tear. Now we go to the big one. On Monday, Queen's Birthday holiday, we have Terrelgan hosting Morwell, which is a fantastic innovation to play on Monday. Display the Gippsland League to all, and also it's a great rival match, local derby.
It sure is, and I think in the last 10 games, Morwell won 4, Terrelgan have won 6. In the last 3 matches, it's been Terrelgan, Morwell, Terrelgan, so you can see that there's not much between them. I think this year Terrelgan has actually had a slow start, but they're gaining a bit of momentum, getting a few players back. Josh Jennings back in the fray has been good. And one thing I noticed about Terrelgan's best 3 players last week was they all played in the league the previous week, and McKenna, Hall and Campbell. For Morwell, for me, I like Robbie Michaelides at any stage. He's a great ball user, and they picked up a boy Pettit from who was originally from Yarram, I believe, Coach Yarram, back from Queensland. Plays in any position, actually plays centre half back, plays on the ball, plays on the wing. Cousin of Damien Kerr, the coach, so he'll be one to look out for. And in wet conditions, I reckon they might slip in Jock McFarlane too, the Morwell boys. But here at Terrelgan, big game. Oh, look, I think they should get over the line.
Andrew, here's your chance to give the
Well,
game a plug.
The game of plug. Well, it is bragging rights for all concerned, and that is not just the players, but certainly the supporters. A lot of people do get along to these games traditionally, and certainly this having Monday being the long weekend, certainly this weekend is going to be fantastic for all those that get to Terrelgan football ground. Some great talent out on the field. There's going to be probably some controversy at selection table, a lot of talks about who's taking who, so it's all gearing up for a big day. Doesn't matter where these 2 sides are on the ladder traditionally, it's going to be a game that certainly people will be looking forward to, and certainly this Monday is going to be a big occasion for all.
Yeah.
And who are you going to go for, Macca?
No, Terrelgan. Terrelgan in a very tight affair, I'm sure, because the sides do plan for each other quite well. So there won't be too much separation or thought between the 2 sides come the final side.
Yeah, I think it'll be a rip snorter of a game. Obviously, the rivalry is intense. I'm sure there's going to be a few bets laid, and I'm sure it'll be interesting to hear some of the comments on the day, because they both love to get into each other. But what I've seen of Traralgon, they're slowly building up. They've had some injuries, some key players are coming back. They've got some good young kids that are maturing, and yes, those 3 players did play very well for the inner league, and I'm expecting them to keep playing well for the rest of the year, because that's why they were in the inner league. They're 3 very good players. But I'm expecting Traralgon to be a little bit better than Morwell, and I'm also tipping them to, they'll be right there at the end, and they could be the new flag favourite in a couple of weeks.
Oh no, drawn are there for the moment, I think. And just we were speaking to Chairman of Selectors, I think, for Traralgon earlier, and Jumbo McCulloch, who's probably the most erudite man when it comes to Traralgon footy, and he thinks Adam Bailey will be a man to watch out for. So you're going to be preparing for Adam Bailey, do you think, Macca?
Yes, we will be, George.
Okay.
Without saying too much, but there's a few players there from all that certainly will be given a bit of attention, in the right way, of course. And once again, they do have a potent forward line that we've got to be very wary of with all their entries. So certainly, Adam's not the only one that will be looked at. There's probably 5 or 6 in that category.
Your Morwell specialist is in playing, Rowan Hoare. He's left the club playing in Melbourne. He loved playing against Morwell. He got best player, I reckon, 4 or 5 times in a row against Morwell. Played great games against him. You'll miss him.
Rowan's an exceptional player, and certainly could hold down key positions. And how fantastic was he around the ground?
Yeah, great below his knees for a big player too.
Yeah, absolutely. Hence why he's playing in Melbourne.
We wish him well.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it. We've got another big week coming up for Gippsland League, and hopefully there's a couple of upsets in there. We mightn't have tipped them, but hopefully it keeps the ladder as tight as it's been, and we'll see you all next week.